I wish I had a rich uncle that'd kick the bucket and I was sitting on a pile like Warren Buffett. I know everybody says money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull. It can buy me a...
Hey YouTube, Eric here. So I'm on my way over to Detroit Lakes. I have bought big news. I've bought a salvaged pontoon, a late model salvaged pontoon. Last year we had a big storm that came through the Detroit Lakes area, and it flipped over a bunch of pontoons, whether they're on their lifts or if they're on sea legs or whatnot. It flipped over a bunch of pontoons. And we've got our local recovery place is over in that sells the insurance salvages on boats and whatnot, is over in Detroit Lakes. And so this winter I kind of looked at that one. You know what? I think I would like to buy a pontoon to buy, fix, and rent. And in this way, if you ever shop for a new pontoon, you can spend $40,000 on a new pontoon, like, easy. And in this way, I can get into a pontoon and start expensing it, if this plan works out. So the trouble with pontoons that have been flipped over is how much damage has been done to the wiring, which may or may not be apparent right away. Fences and upholstery, you can see that damage right off the bat, but you know, with the cost of these big 4-strokes running from about $8,000 to $14,000 for a typical 75 to 115 horsepower motor, the electrolysis in a boat motor can get really expensive if you end up having to replace every electronic gizmo in there. Thankfully, we have fresh water, and so electrolysis cannot happen as fast as, say, with salt water. And so I'm taking a risk, and while I'm a mechanic and can fix everything, in order for me to get to talking to the an outboard's computer, in this case it's a Mercury, I need to buy about a $1,400 software package and an old laptop to run, a PC laptop to run it on. And otherwise I'm kind of guessing what's wrong. So we'll find out if this turns into a big mess or not. And if it is a big mess, well, it'll be more content for YouTube. The boat hull itself isn't too bad. I got to replace a fence on the starboard rear end. Near as I can tell, the boat flipped over and it was still in midair as it rolled over the starboard rear fence. Starboard, that for non-boat people, that would be your right hand side. And then it must have come to land, and I think it was still not taking all the weight, come to land on the port side, because the whole port side is bent in like 1.5 inches. And when you're in the boat, you can't even see it, but when you're looking in front or in back and kind of sight down, you can kind of see how this thing's, the fence is tipped. The tin is straight on it. And so I've decided what I'm going to try to do is remove all the furniture that's in the way and take like a 2x4 or a 2x8 or whatever. Have a friend hold it, and then I'll use my tractor's curl function to try to bend the whole fence out. We'll see if that works. Cool. If it doesn't work, well, I guess I'll be buying a port side fence too. Other damage that I know has happened is the console went swimming, and it's a higher end boat, so it's got lots of gauges, and I hope the gauges aren't all rusted up. But if they are, well, I'm going to be replacing a bunch of gauges and feeling sorry about that, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's going to be a project that you're going to see me working on, and I hope to have this thing ready to be rented by May. I will be at I can't tell you how fast these pontoon people can get me parts. boats aren't like cars where they have an exploded diagram of everything, every part, every year. They kind of like, oh yeah, you need a fence. Oh, we need the hull number. They always want the hull number, and then they want a picture of what you're trying to replace so that they can match it. And because they don't even know quite what they've got on there. So it seems to be that way with every one of these manufacturers. So anyway, I'm at the mercy of how fast we can get parts out of South Bay. South Bay is owned by Berkshire, so maybe they're well-oiled machine. I just don't know it. So hopefully they are. Anyway, that's what I got for you, YouTube. I'll show you more when I'm picking up the boat. Bye. Alright, so here we are. Got the boat loaded. Unfortunately, I can't put my tailgate up because the ultralights are just too long. And as we don't have any juice, I can't fully engage the travel lock, so the travel lock I'm sure is going to pop off as soon as the first bump. Anyway, this is the boat. So we'll see. Get out of here. Okay, YouTube, well, I got the boat back yesterday, and while I wanted to put it over there just because of icy ground, muddy ground, I couldn't make the cut. And then my tractor's battery is flat. I think the battery cracked in the cold. That's what I think has happened. It got cold enough. We hit 45 below, and I think and after that I've been having to put a charger on it to start it. So I think I cracked my battery in the middle of winter. But at any rate, couldn't move the tractor, and so the boat went where I can slide a trailer in it and pull it on out. And at this point, really all I'm wanting to do is kind of assess what I've got with it. I haven't looked underneath any of the cushions or anything like that. It's all, the reason why is because it's all under snow. And in order to get the changing room open, I got to get this door open. And unfortunately, this fence, the starboard rear fence, is bent in. And so what you can see here is I've worked up a come along, and I made a jig to chain this thing at the top of the fence. And I'm just going to pull it out of the way. This is one of the fences I'm intending on replacing it anyway, but I just need to get it off of that door so I can open up everything. So that's what you're going to watch me do. Okay, well, I gotta let more stuff thaw out. I've been trying to shovel this thing on out and find out what's underneath cushions and locate whatever I can locate. And I think I just totally lucked out. The playpen cover appears to be right here. And if this is the playpen cover, I see snaps. Even if it's damaged, I can get it fixed. But a brand new OEM playpen cover for this thing is $1,600. And I also see that it's still got the sock for the privacy. So that's all good. And now I know why this was a little hard to open up. This has come loose. Probably just me rattling it down the road. So at any rate, yeah, lucky there. lucky there. And then this is the sport I was telling you about. I think I better unbolt this thing before I try to really reef. So, and I gotta let this all just thaw out. I have no idea. There's some bimini parts that are underneath that snow and ice. this boat sat out all winter long, and I don't know how much snow we got, but we got a fair amount of snow, maybe 3 or 4 feet. So there's 3 or 4 feet of snow trying to melt out of this thing slowly but surely. And then obviously it's going to need one heck of a detail. Everything's muddy. So anyway, that's what I got to share with you today, YouTube.
But it can buy me a boat, it can buy me a truck.